in the game if possible. Okay guys, so without any further ado, we're going into the game between Sis on the left hand side and Selentia on the right hand side, both running extremely memey compositions, guys. So you have Wistful Cider Lad, aka Sis, and Selentia, aka Selentia. You might know both of them from the stream, guys. And we're going into a best of 3 match. This is game number 1. Okay, so we have quite a memey composition, protection based, I guess, with the Crusader, Flagellant, Vestal, and Plague Doctor. Looks like a sustained composition, and we will see how it goes. So, actually, the Hellion here, so that's the damage over time composition I used to play before. So Selentia is running this damage over time comp that has just quite a lot of pressure across the board. But I know from experience that it does struggle against high sustain, high protection, high defense compositions like this. Because this one just can last for ages and does have quite a punch of its own, so it might be difficult for Selentia actually to push through this. So let's see how Selentia does approach this fight. So the opener here is basically just stacking a couple of dots all across the board. We have protection dropped by Wistful Cider Lad, whereas Selentia just starts dropping the AoEs. The interesting thing is that this composition is heavily countered by Repose, like what Selentia is running, but nobody has Repose here, so that's quite decent for us. Is the screen tilted? Shit. It's good for me. I see nothing wrong with this. As good as it gets, guys. As good as it gets. Okay, so we get a stun dodged by the shield break. 50 dodge on the first turn, given by the bonus, is actually quite decent. So it's quite predictable. It should have missed, right? It's about 50-50 here for that stun to not go through. Also, actually, Ciderlat is not running the stun trinket. He's actually running the healing. I think he's running the robes and the healing trinket, right? So it's like more death blow resistance, but actually might be quite odd. Like stunning here might not be reliable, or as reliable as you would have liked it to. So okay, I can shift it to the middle. Okay, right. Okay, so if Selentia dropping the regeneration, actually, that's quite good. So he's gonna sustain a bit longer. Maybe this will actually keep him in the game, right? So what Selentia is doing here is just actually kind of stalling for time. I guess he's just trying to buy himself as much time as possible to just stack those damage over time effects. And actually, when I look at Ciderlat's composition, there isn't that much damage in it, right? So the problem here is obviously that he might just not have enough to go through the rejuvenating vapors that we have been dropped here by Selentia, and this may be nail in the coffin, really, because Ciderlat doesn't quite, sit on enough damage. I think he's just taking quite heavy damage here, and he is not healing it yet. Obviously, he's quite a lot of sources of healing. But once he starts healing, it's like kind of a vicious circle, because those blight stacks, those bleeds will just keep stacking against him, and he might not be able to push through. So he might not be able to even do damage here, because Selentia is regenerating copious amounts of health, really. And this might mean, guys, that Selentia will just take this game no problems. So we have the PD being activated here. He goes for the Plague Grenade. And this does go across the board. Here does hit the Antiquarian and the Hellion. Selentia is playing this very smart, because just kind of switching the positions between the Shieldbreaker and the Hellion. Eventually she'll just be kind of switching those two characters around, meaning that he can just keep smashing with the Hellion, so he can just keep doing the AoE damage with the breakthrough. And this inflicts, since the Hellion does sit on the Hemlock, she can actually inflict quite a decent amount of damage over time with this. Like, the Blight is quite good against what Ciderlat is using right now, since except for the PD, everyone else is quite vulnerable to it. So that Hellion will be doing quite a lot of damage. Like, obviously, on the other hand, we have 17 damage, so 17 blight damage stacked on Selentia, so this will be trouble eventually. and no region can actually out-sustain this. So 17 Blight is very, very dire for this Hellion. Hellion is, you know, she's quite a squishy character, really. So doesn't look like it's that good anyway. I was kind of worried that, you know, Cider might... Oh, this is another stun resisted for the Houndmaster. This is because Cider is actually running the blade, so he cannot stun with that. So I mean, he can stun, but it's like quite less likely to do anything. Obviously, like double resist on the stun is kind of statistically unlikely, but well, here we are in Darkest Dungeon, right, where impossible is just happening on a daily basis. And honestly, I think Cider might hold an advantage here now, because the kill pressure on the Hellion is just gonna be real for the foreseeable future. Obviously, the guard prevents that from being a death blow. Unless, you know, the Hellion gets into a double AoE with the... Oh, did this crash now? Okay, no, actually it's okay. Unless the Hellion does get into double AoE with the Houndmaster, which doesn't seem to be possible with the current layout. So I feel like this might still be decent, in fact. I think this might still be decent for Selentia. On the other hand, though, like, we have to consider the fact that, you know, there's a lot of damage over time stacking on Selentia's backline as well with this Flagellant. And actually, Cider is holding with this pressure. He's not spamming those skills mindlessly. He's just actually healing when needed. So this means that he might actually be able to pull through. It's actually quite intriguing to see what happens here. So we are working with the Houndmaster here again. So we're going to be getting another stack of bleeding across the board, though. So I'm kind of in two minds here. I'm not sure if Selentia has enough to make this work. What I did with this composition was actually replacing the Hellion with a Jester, because Jester has way more reliable executions with the finale. It's like has way more threat, I feel. So also it might be quite harder to kill, because the dodge on the Jester being 40 with the Monkey's Paw is very strong. I feel like this was a huge marked improvement for the Jester overall. I mean, for the composition, right? Jester instead of the Hellion did improve it by quite a significant margin here. And we are looking at this game right now. Guys, like, if you're requesting the birthday hats, we'll be adding them after this game. We will just put some hats on the sides, okay? I promise. We are getting the hats. Where the guys will be setting up, will kind of change the UI a little bit. For now, this is what we're working with. So, honestly, this looks quite an even match, because they're just wearing each other down quite equally. Actually, the damage goes across the board on both sides, and it means like that this might be a very close game in the end. The Vessel being pulled to the very front by the Shield Breaker is actually in some sort of trouble. Not being able to use her abilities at all from the front is quite problematic, right? The Maze Bash is the only thing that she could use. Obviously, the Dazzling Light. What the hell is this ability called? There are two skills anyway the Vessel can use, right? Neither of them was available here. One of them was actually, but the movement was probably a smarter idea, I guess. So we have quite a lot of damage over time stack. Actually, thought this was gonna be more than we see. So I feel like actually Wistful Cider is slowly winning the battle of attrition here, and this might end up in a couple of possible killing blows on the side of Selentia, because, you know, he is not kind of regenerating enough, I feel, to kind of keep this composition from eventually just dying. You know, 16 damage over time. This is nothing you can heal, and that means that basically Selentia will be in a lot of trouble very soon at this rate. So this game one is looking very good for both of the players. I can't... Okay, this dodge buff was actually, I feel, a 10 wasted, because the dodge doesn't do that much for you anymore at this stage of the game. Like, it can kind of accumulate over the span of a few turns, obviously. Right, we have a lot of healing as well being done here by Cider. You can see that he's sustaining this pressure very well. I think he has like a plan, like consistent healing, and the defenses are actually paying dividends here. The Impale goes through. It does, you know, go across the board with the Blight stacks again, but again doesn't quite seem like this might be enough for Selentia. I think he's just not doing enough damage. Obviously, like the Flagellant will eventually run out of the skills, right? But this is kind of far away, so like he still has like Sanguinates. I think one more Redeem is still on the table too, so the Flagellant might be able to actually just, you know, work with Wistful Cider long enough for those kills to go through. And I feel like once Silentia's characters start dying, this pressure that he has of the damage over time just kind of goes away. And yeah, that's the problem, really, isn't it? So obviously Illumination might go through here, so he's going for a kill here, doesn't get it. It was quite unlikely, in fact, to get that. This Antiquarian is very, very high on this death blow resistance still, so you should not expect a kills from non-specialized death blow dealers. This doesn't do enough either. Remember that Selentia was stacking those breakthroughs, so actually the damage was quite significantly reduced. The Yasuo, thank you, mate. Thank you for your kind words. Yeah, I'm very happy to hit 1k subs yesterday. That's really great for the stream. So we have the we get a virtue from the Antiquarian. That's, you know, quite low chance, but you know, she gets it. The 30% chance from those Seer is obviously quite good. But the question is, like, how long is she gonna live with this, right? He has 45 death blow resistance, so it's like, I think it's gonna be curtain call for her quite soon. So yeah, Cider has obviously has to heal this vessel, because the Hellion has the execute here, she has the finisher, and she does have an ability that does deal quite significant amount of that can go for the death blow resistance quite nicely. Obviously, like, the question is, like, can Wistful Cider keep this Vestal topped up all the time? Because if the Houndmaster does have like single target attack right now, I think the Vestal is probably done for, really. The question is, like, he doesn't have this, he can just Hound Harry, so this is no longer a possibility here, so Selentia chooses to just sustain his own character's life. And right now we can we are out of healing actually for the Flagellant. Oh my god, this Antiquarian is immortal. Selentia is, I think, getting quite lucky with those death blow resists. That's like 4th in a row, isn't it? Or is it 3rd? I think this might be 3rd, actually 3rd. So the Hellion doesn't quite get the execute either, so that damage isn't high anymore. I think that Cider has the ability to slowly close this game down. However, obviously, like, his healing is out, because he has no Exsanguinate, does he? So for him it's kind of dire as well, because his healing, his sustain is also being slowly taken away. So the question is really, what can we do here, right? Selentia does have this the virtue that heals over time. That's really good for him, because he can just heal the damage over time that he takes. And in this case, I think the Antiquarian is kind of safe. Like, I'm not saying that it's, you know, obviously going to stay alive forever, but probably it's going to be very hard for Cider to actually reach her now. So obviously you can just Holy Lens this and just try to get Death Blow, right? It's a possibility, of course. So right now it may be quite even for so Selentia is kind of evening this out, so you know every player was getting quite lucky here. I feel, but Selentia is definitely keeping this Antiquarian alive for way longer than he should be. Now the question is, like, what does Cider do about this, right? How does he salvage this situation? Because he obviously has wasted quite a few turns trying to kill the Antiquarian. Now all those efforts have just gone to, you know, basically to naught. So the question is, like, what do we do here with this setup? And it's quite hard to tell really what Cider is going to do about this. The Illumination might go through. The Dazzling Light is also a possibility. So he goes for the Death Blow here. Actually, it's quite a risky call, but there's obviously nothing that can threaten the Vestal yet. This might change though, because his situation is quite bad, since both the Shieldbreaker and the Hellion can do damage to the Vestal, so she'll be at Death's Door now. The Crusader will heal this, and then the Hellion breaks. It's actually going to be fine. So the Crusader can heal this, and then Hellion will bring her back to Death's Door, which will be obviously alleviated later on. Oh, that's a crit. That's a juicy crit for Cider. So that's quite lucky for him in turn. And this means that Selentia is actually... Selentia's efforts have been quite nullified here, really. So it might be trouble again. So with bleeding dropped on the vessel, obviously bleeding does go hand in hand with the blight here because of the Hellion's items. The trinkets do give her the ability to do some additional damage. Okay, another death blow hit doesn't go through, and this might mean that actually Selentia does stay alive for long enough to maybe deal with what Cider has here available to himself, right? Maybe this is a chance for Selentia to actually break through the formation of Cider, though obviously you have to remember that the flagellants...
I should have won this game 3 or 4 times ago. This is fucking ridiculous.
Okay, we have Cider speaking out his mind. The man who never tilts, guys. The man who never tilts. Just don't tilt. So... Those death blows are indeed ridiculous, but man, that's how it is sometimes. Oh my god, these both are alive still, are you kidding me? Selentia, you're just rolling the dice, you're just rolling those 20s all the time. This is incredible, this is just incredible luck, holy shit. I would laugh if... Oh, that's a death blow as well, oh my goodness. Cider lad, what is going on with you? That's just insane. Like, is Selentia actually gonna win this? Oh, there's a double death blow finally for Cider lad coming through, and this might seal the deal for Selentia, in fact, because he might not have enough to break through what Cider lad has in terms of sustain. So, though this was looking quite good for a while with those lucky death blow evasion basically on Selentia's side, eventually, you know, justice is served and Cider does get those kills and probably has the, like, definitely has the upper hand in this game right now. So obviously Cider will be healing this continuously, and this might mean that Selentia is just out of bullets here. He might not have enough to just kind of break through this, since, you know, his composition, like what Cider has here with the Plague Doctor and the Crusader healing, they never run out of steam in this regard, so it's very, very hard to actually just pin them down and kill them when you have numbers disadvantage. And this is indeed what Cider is working with. I think this may have been a bit smart of Cider to just move this PD back, but obviously he can just the PD can get pulled every single turn. So maybe, you know, it's not curtains yet for Selentia. He's obviously in trouble though. So he's obviously in trouble here. It's not going that bad, but obviously he might be in a little bit of a pickle. So let's just see how this final part of the fight pans out. You have to remember that both the PD and the Crusader are actually afflicted, so this might influence the outcome of this fight as well. So if one of them rejects the healing, for instance, it's going to be absolutely vital. Obviously the Flagellant healing everybody when on death's door is also quite big. The problem with this, however, is that actually the Flagellant might die next turn, because the Hellion has the death blow ability, and the Crusader might actually fail to heal this. So it depends on like what the Crusader does with the affliction here. This might look quite dire for Cider lad. Actually, there's no affliction activated, so we are through to the next turn. And this means that Cider lad is probably likely to just sustain through this. If the Crusader had passed, this would have been quite difficult a situation for Cider lad again, but the Crusader doesn't pass, and we are probably going for a very, very even game right now. Okay, we get the adrenaline rush from the Hellion here, and this means that Cider lad is probably going to take initiative here because no more damage comes through, and this indeed means that, you know, we get quite a lot of damage that the PD can keep doing here across the board. Because every time you have no Death's Door, you can just do damage with this composition, right? You just are safe to do damage and wait for the Death's Door to drop on you. The only thing Cider has to remember about is to keep a healing ability for the very last moment here. So that's quite important. Let's see what the Shield Breaker does. Obviously, you have to remember that also Selentia does get the final turn here. So every single time Selentia Selentia does get to play fast from now on, right? Because he always ends the turn before Selentia does due to the numbers. So before Lad does due to the numbers disadvantage. So if there is a situation where someone refuses the healing, for instance, or passes the turn, this might be very good for Cider, or perhaps when the PD just takes a lot of damage here and just goes to 0 HP because the PD can no longer heal in this position. Obviously, another healing goes through for Cider, and this might be too difficult because, you know, this Legend will just keep AoE healing everybody every time he takes the death blow. He is taken to death's door, so that's quite important to remember. Impale goes through right again, and this might be trouble actually for Selentia. Let's see how this actually pans out. So, you know, really depending on what the reactions of those, you know, of those afflicted characters are, this might be trouble, right? I just don't know what we'll have here. Okay, so healing does go through. I think this is quite lucky for Cider. He is not taking any serious affliction disruptions here, but obviously you don't really know how this will pan out. Cider, you can disable this notification, but after this game, please, not now, because it will just be too disruptive for us on the stream. Okay, just wait for the, and then you can just disable the notifications altogether on Discord, and this will no longer interrupt our streams. Okay. Okay, so actually he has to activate the PD here, which will drop the PD to 0. You can obviously, I think you can take this a bit more slower. You can probably try to kill. I would just try to go for a kill here, just punish the Hellion, maybe kill her. Oh my god, Hellion actually dodges this. This is like basically an invitation for Cider to take this game. For Selentia to take this game. So if this incision doesn't go through here, oh my god, actually the affliction goes in, and actually Selentia has a chance to execute the PD. If this execute goes through, this will be even game again. It does go through, so we are 2 characters to 2. This is so unfortunate for Cider, actually, because I feel like afflicted Crusader might mean trouble for Cider. That's quite interesting. Like, what do we do here right now, right? Obviously taken to 0 HP now. We'll probably try to execute the... Why would you do Rain of Sorrows? You have to punish the... Oh, that's a devil actually for Cider. This might close the deal here for Selentia. I don't think there is much recovery here. Obviously, she can hope, or he can hope for a kill here on the Flagellant. He gets it. Good lord, this was such unlikely.
That was 20% kill, man. I'm a little tilted.
I know. But like, here we have Cider with the pro advice: do not tilt, lul. And it doesn't quite look too hot for him anymore, let's face it. I think Shieldbreaker might just win 1v1 versus the Crusade. What an insane game, guys! This is like such an insane game, where you have like very lucky moves from Selentia here, obviously. Man, that's gonna be so close, the finale of this game. This is like, I didn't expect... Oh no!
We desync, sorry brother.
Oh no, that was such a good game. Shit. Oh no, that's so annoying. Fuck, that was such a great game.
Man, if I was casting that game with you, we would have had a fucking riot.
Oh no. That's such a shame, fuck. Because this was gonna be such a good ending, I think, like finale, the end versus, like Crusader versus the Shieldbreaker would have been so great to watch. Shit. Oh my god. Guys, this is gonna be a draw. This is gonna be a draw. Cause I feel like in this situation, like where we ended up with, like full HP Crusader versus full HP Shieldbreaker, it might be anybody's game to take. Do you guys agree? Selentia and Cider, do you agree that this was probably a draw? Because like it's very hard to predict how this game would have gone from this.
Would you like a rematch?
I mean, I feel like Selentia had a lead here, because I think the Shieldbreaker does eventually just kill the Crusader who has no self-healing, right? Whereas the Shieldbreaker did have the Aegis skill twice still. Usable twice, so that's quite an issue.
No, he definitely did win that, yeah. He got very lucky, but he did win. Yeah,
he did win indeed. Yeah, I think the Shieldbreaker would have eventually just killed you. So guys, do you want to make it like one? Yeah. So how do we do this? I think like despite the luck, I would just give the win to Selentia after some consideration. Sis, what do you think?
Best of 3. He just reminded me that it's best of 3, so we can try a new one.
So do you think this? Yeah, would you give this win to Selentia though? I think he had this. What do you think? Or do you think this was a tie? Because it's up to you guys, like, to decide whether this was a tie or.
I'll give it so begrudgingly, brother. You saw the RNG, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
He was like 40, 60, 40, 15, and then I was 20% and I just died.
Yeah, I know. But wouldn't you say that this was actually probably, like, at this very ending of this fight, this was probably favoring Selentia still? So it's the question, like, did the game in this state before the crash favor Selentia or not? I would say it did favor Selentia quite hard.
No, he won. Honestly, he won, brother.
Yeah,
Let's try game 2. I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this win to Selentia, guys.
So much of that game was done. You should still highlight that. Seriously.
Yeah. But he won. Like, luckily he won. Like, okay, using his luck, he did win. I think Selentia won this one. It was like one of the luckiest streaks ever. There's like one of the luckiest streaks ever, guys. But yes, I think Selentia did win, guys. So we are going to.
No, you should highlight it. Is what I meant.
So we're just gonna go to game 2 right now. We're gonna go to game 2. So let's just go for it, guys. So you have some time to make some changes, move the composition a little bit around. So let's give the players about 2 to 3 minutes, guys, and we will be shoutcasting the second game of Cider versus Selentia. Okay? So let's give those guys some time. Let's cheer for them a little bit. Let's talk about how this game also went through, because I feel there's quite a lot of stuff that has to be said here. Yeah, the hat is on, guys. The hat is on. I can make it bigger if you like. So, yeah, that kind of looks fun, right? Bigger hat. Who doesn't have big hats, right? So, what I think this game did actually showcase was like how luck can turn the tide of the fight. So we did attribute, like, we ended up attributing the win to Selentia here. Mostly because, like, the Shieldbreaker does win versus the Crusader in the end, I think. Like, those Aegis procs, plus the high dodge that the Shieldbreaker has inherently, and with the skills that she uses, I think this was just going to be definitely a win in the end for Selentia, despite of, you know, how bullshit the luck Selentia had was going. So we're just gonna attribute this win to Selentia here. Obviously, like, these things are just a part of the game right now. We can't do anything about them, so we just have to live with this, guys. So the problem here is that we just have to kind of, you know, bite the bullet on this one and just, you know, say that, you know, it is what it is, right? And this win does go to Selentia in the end. But those characters being, like, I think they resisted like 8 or 9 death blows, and the Flagellant just drops dead to a single shot from the Shieldbreaker. That was just quite brutal, honestly. I think this is quite brutal, because I feel like had the Flagellant not died there, this was definitely a win for Cider Lad, right? Because what do you do if you are Selentia with a single Shieldbreaker versus Crusader Flagellant, where Crusader just keeps healing? Right? There's very little stuff you can do, really, I feel. So that's quite an issue. That's quite an issue, I think. So guys, if you're new to the stream, and if you're enjoying the content, by the way, please remember to follow and subscribe. We're doing a lot of viewer matches.
That was the
like
funnest
a
game I've
community
ever had
tournament
in this,
as well.
to be honest. So fun.
It was fun, right? It was quite tilting for you, though, Sis. Sis, you're on the stream, I think. Whenever you speak, you're on the stream as well. So everybody can hear your wonderful microphone, wonderful voice. Okay, guys. So after the series, we might do like a short interview with the guys if they like that. But I think this would be too much. Like, I think this would be like too esporty. This is just a small show match. It's not a tournament. If we were to do a tournament, guys, we will do definitely like interviews and such with the winners. Okay, so let's continue then, guys. Let's continue. Are you ready, Selentia and Sis? Are you guys ready for game number 2? We could do like a mock interview later. Okay, we can do the mock interview after game 3. So whatever comes out of this series, we'll do, or after game 2. We'll do this. We'll do the interview, but after all games, after the series. Okay, once the series has concluded. So just wait for it. Let's wait for it. By the way, Selentia, where are you from, man? Where are you from? Thanks, Cherry, for notifying us. So, Selentia, where are you from, man? No, I'll invite you to the voice conversation after game 3 or after game 2. So, if you win the series, if you take this game, right, you win the series, and then we'll do the interview with the winner and the loser. I think that's actually gonna be fun. I would like to see that. Right, so we'll do the interview later. For now, I'm just waiting for... You're American, perfect. That would be fun then. Like America versus Great Britain, right? That's gonna be awesome in it. I need to learn in it as well. Sis was supposed to show me how to do it. So do the interview. I need to figure out some questions to ask you guys though. So we'll see how it goes. All right, we'll see how it goes. So we're just waiting for both players to be ready. Remember, guys, between the games, both players are allowed to change their compositions completely. So whatever they brought to game 1 doesn't impact what the rest of the series will be like, because we're just basically playing like we're playing this long game here, like the best of 3. So you need to get 2 wins on the board to win that series, to take it home. So we'll see where this takes us. So basically that. So we're just waiting for. I need to add the best of 3 text here actually as well. To this stream, so you'll have best of 3 recording. Selentia is leading 1-0 right now, guys. Selentia is leading 1-0, and we'll be waiting for both players to say that they are indeed ready. Hugo Pereira, hey there, mate. Hey, yeah. I'm very happy. Thank you for your kind words, mate. Yeah, I'm very happy about 1K subs. I'm waiting for monetization right now because they're like checking my channel as we speak. Probably like maybe they'll be checking it in a week's time or something. And yeah. Oh, you're starting, guys. You nerds. You haven't notified me. Oh no, you dirty nerds. Okay, we're just gonna go to the game then. So we are in fact, we are in game number 2, Selentia versus Wistful Cider Lad, guys. Stream, can you confirm that you do see this? Stream! Also, sis, please turn up the volume of the game a little because I can't hear shit right now. If you could. Guys, on the stream, can you confirm that you see the stream right now? Okay, perfect. Thank you, sis. The volume is perfect right now. Lovely stuff, man. Lovely stuff. Okay, so the composition both comps have actually changed. So Selentia is running this high movement, high blight, I think, composition. That's quite interesting. Looks like he might be trying to incorporate some of this repose from the toxic bile on the abomination into this, because this does deal very well with the jesters, harvest, and with the shield breakers. AoE blight skill as well, so the impale will probably be hindered by that abomination in the end. Obviously, like also the Antiquarian's AoE blight is going to be a problem with a very heavy dodge composition from Cider Lad on the other hand. So you know, first round bonus aside, this is very, very high dodge overall across the board on those guys, and the toxic bile does indeed go through, so we have a counter on Selentia's abomination. Now remember though, this repose is very short, so every single turn you have to reapply it for it to stick. So there's going to be some trouble, I guess, for Selentia here. You know, there's quite a lot of effort put into just keeping this repose going. Obviously, it's a nice investment overall. Let's see how this goes. No Mortem, I take no offense. Okay, oh, that move actually. I think you should not have, Selentia should not have moved the abomination here. Maybe this is kind of going to be trouble for him. I mean, obviously no, it's okay, because he can just move the shield breaker forward now, and the abomination can reactivate the repose. It's actually pretty much okay. Oh, no, no, no. Screw you guys. No hats, no hats. We have enough hats as it is. We have enough hats as it is. Okay, so actually the Jester goes through, like, look at the damage the Jester has actually sustained. It's quite a lot. So we have about, what, 5% HP on the Jester right now. the traded damage onto the Grave Robber doesn't quite match it yet, so the Jester might be in trouble actually, because there's no way to shield the, against Shield Breaker, obviously. So whatever we see here, this might be curtains for the Jester actually. Obviously, like, you can save this for a single turn, right? You can save this for a single turn, but this might not be enough. And you have to remember, if anybody on Selentia's lineup has the finisher, this might indeed be it for the Jester. So let's see if the Grave Robber does have the finisher here. The launch goes through. Is this a kill? No, it's not a kill, actually. I don't know if the Grave Robber does actually have the finisher on her. Maybe she doesn't. This is why, because Lunge does have Deathblow resist. Pierce here, so 20% more chance for that. Alright, so we have the men at arms here going forward with the Bellow, so this will drastically decrease the damage that Selentia can be doing here. Remember, there's no debuff removal for Selentia alone, so this is quite important to consider. The Abomination here probably will just keep spamming the Toxic Bile here, which is, very, very important for Selentia. Because this basically means that every single time that Cider does decide to go for this AoE swipe across the board, he does take additional Blight, and this does keep adding up. Look at the Jester, 14 Blight already. Despite very high dodge he is sporting, it's already quite a lot of damage he has to sustain, and all those characters are probably slowly going to be in trouble here. So the Repose does actually, the Shieldbreaker's pool does actually move the Abomination to 4th. That's quite important as well for Selentia, since he can no longer use those abilities, and he probably cannot move back with the Shieldbreaker. So the Abomination will have to waste a single turn now to move forward. That's pretty important as well. Now the Jester does stay alive. 55 dodge doesn't seem quite to bother Selentia's character. They're just smashing him really hard. I would just go for the finale now, man. I would just go for the finale, because this would probably be a... yeah, this does eliminate the Grave Robber from the game, and this Jester is done for anyway. 45 Deathblow resistance is very little. I think Selentia got quite unlucky with those executes here, but, that's just something that happens. Given the previous game's results, you have to kind of, you have to kind of be used to that. Okay, we had a Deathblow here, so it is a trade of kills across the board again. We are back on Ciderlad's side right now, and he opens this turn with the Bellow. The advantage that we have, obviously, is that I feel the Grave Robber didn't get to play the turn yet, right? So she just wasted the turn, whereas Ciderlad has used his Jester before the demise. So that's kind of good for Ciderlad, I feel. Now you have the Shieldbreaker probably coming through right now with Serpent's Way. That's what we are looking at right now from Ciderlad. He might just decide to do damage though. I think it wouldn't be a mistake to just maybe, move the... oh, that's heavy crit damage actually. That's quite a lot going through for Ciderlad here. And this might mean trouble for Selentia, where the Abomination is still stuck in the 4th, right? That's the problem with kind of those move compositions, right? They may sometimes put your characters so far out of position that you are just kind of hopelessly lost here. I think this is happening to Selentia right now, where he cannot really use his composition to full potential. Okay, Festering Vapors actually go for that's quite a risky play, because I feel like Cider has this game in the bank right now, so he just has to survive long enough, and he'll be fine, right? So he has the fresh shield over this game, and I feel like this is going to be very difficult for Selentia to tear it away from his hands. Oh, the Antiquarian finally dodges, 65 dodge on her, so it's quite likely, obviously, to dodge those attacks. But what Ciderlad can be doing now is just probably spamming the region and rinse and repeat, pulling the PD forward every time the Abomination moves. So he keeps this game in check. I feel this is kind of good for him. The Rejuvenation goes through, though this is an opening for Selentia, obviously, to just kill the Antiquarian. 25% Deathblow resistance. She also has 1 HP. You don't see this on the health bar actually, but there is a single health point over here. So this might mean that this Antiquarian does live long enough to see another day. Since, especially, that the Abomination is actually moved again, and this doesn't... This basically means that, I would just move. Wait, what are you doing? No! Just pull the PD, what are you doing? I would just pull the PD every single time now, because this means the Abomination does actually get to act, and the Abomination does get to drop the Bile, which might take the Antiquarian to 0 HP, and consequently mean, oh no, I would just go for the Bile. Okay, we do have the Disable going through on the Shieldbreaker, so this might have taken the Antiquarian to Death's Door and maybe prevented additional damage from coming through, because the Bile would mean that, you know, the Abomination doesn't quite... Okay, we get a crit here as well. Oh, that's a lot of stress damage coming through. 37 stress, and the riposte is on, so maybe this Antiquarian will be in trouble right now for a while. Because everything that happens here won't... Like, nothing that Cider does will keep this Antiquarian safe from damage, so it is possible, it's quite likely, in fact, for the Antiquarian to just go down next turn. And there's very little that can be done to prevent this, so either we just get spam of damage here across the board from the Antiquarian. This might be Death Blow though, okay, we lowered the resistance to Death Blow anyway for the Antiquarian, so this is trouble, I feel like. This is serious trouble for Cider right now. So this endgame doesn't quite favor him, and this really good Abomination play from Selentia is actually keeping him in the game. I feel like if Cider had actually pulled this PD forward, instead of trying to go for a stun here, or just kind of trying to... I don't remember what he did, but he should have definitely just pulled this PD to the front, because this would have meant that, you know, that no Abomination activations going through, and yeah, that's probably trouble for Cider right now, really. Because there is no way to keep tabs on these Abomination... I mean, obviously you can just always pull this, right? You can always pull the PD forward. So... Okay, Noxious Blast goes through. It's a dodge from the Antiquarian though, so it's going to be a very close game actually. This finale, this final part of the game is extremely close here. So in this best of 3, you know, every single game matters obviously. Cider would like to stay alive in this series, and for this, he has to actually win this game. And... we are looking at the possibilities for Cider right now. What can he do? The Bellow might not be an option anymore because he hasn't quite done enough stress yet, right? That's probably going to be a small issue here for Cider. Oh my god, another dodge from the Antiquarian. So, you know, Cider is getting back at Selentia here for those previous dodges he had and for the previous death blows that he resisted. I think we are coming back here. Hey there, Nitro, we're casting a game right now, man. Okay, we have another death blow dodge for the Antiquarian, 30% death blow resistance. That's where we had the we had Selentia's characters the previous game as well, so this is kind of evening itself out. Maybe the slack is going to actually allow Selentia, allow Cider to stay alive. Okay, so actually eventually, so the Antiquarian does eventually drop dead. Now the question is, can Cider actually execute on the PD right now? Can he get the kill here on the Plague Doctor? The answer is yes, so we have trade kill again, so we're 1-1, and I feel that the setup that Cider has is tanky enough that it might just allow him to even stress kill Selentia if he plays his cards right. No!
The desync, man, that was really bad. I was seriously, that's really actually upset me, that desync.
No, that's so sad. Oh crap. Okay, the desyncs kill it. The desyncs have actually killed this, guys. This is desync bullshit. Come on, game.
Seriously, man, that upset me so fucking much, that desync.
Yeah,
that's
very unfortunate. The hat is gonna go away. We just got. Do we multiply the hats? Can we just control F? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna multiply the hats, guys. Someone asked for multiple hats, so here we go. I'm gonna fit into one of those right now. Okay, so wherever I go now, I have a hat. That's the upside of this situation. The desync though is really shitty. Oh man, that's quite unfortunate.
So I seriously think I had that game. He could have gotten very lucky and won it, but I think in the same way Selentia had the previous game, I had that one.
Yeah, you
It's
definitely
up
have
to you if you'd
advantage
like to
there.
go into a game 3, but the desync issues are quite bad, so completely up to you.
Okay, Selentia, do you agree that I think Cider had probably had that game? How do you feel? Because Selentia has to decide there, because that's the deal here, right? So for the previous game, I think Cider had this. Selentia, what do you think? Do we give this game to Cider? It's like very unfortunate, like 0 desyncs on stream, I think, and then they just started popping up. Man, at this point the interview will be like, guys, what do you think of these things in DD, Butcher, Circus? So Selentia, yeah, let's give it to him. So we're gonna be like 1-1 in this very weird BO3 where just games are decided by fucking these things, guys. That's very unfortunate. I need to take a short recess now. I need to use the restroom, guys. So it's gonna be 3 to 5 minutes break. You guys can set up your teams, and we will be back here with the happy Vestal once again. Once I'm back. So guys, take your time to set up. I'm gonna be back in like 3 to 5 minutes, and then we'll play the final game. Okay guys, we're back. So I just need to remove the break image here, and we can go back to actually playing the games. And Morton, let me read those messages. So the problem is, like, Selentia's stream quality was quite bad yesterday, so I don't want to kind of... I think it's also like the... I don't think it will fix the desyncs, no. I think this would be very chaotic. Also, like, Selentia's stream quality was bad, right? So he had like shaky views, so I don't think this is like that great.
Michael, my brother, join the Discord channel, yeah? So we've got Selentia in there as well. I can still stream.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, there we go.
That's so loud though, holy shit. Hey guys, hey.
Greetings.
Nice to hear you. Greetings indeed. So, I have to just tune into the stream, right? Of Sis.
I need to turn stream off. Fuck this noise. When Meikanu comes to an end, I'll be done soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not gonna stream the comps, obviously, right? Guys, don't spy on each other. Don't spy on each other.
No, I'm not gonna do that, yeah.
So just wait for it. So honestly, like, you... Oh yeah, I can actually, yeah. Sorry, that's true, I can actually turn you down a little bit in terms of volume.
Correct, yeah. That's one of the really nice things about Discord, is that it's really easy to manually adjust everybody's individual volume.
Yeah, that's true, guys, that's true. No, rip headphone users, right? Rip headphone users. So,
yeah, pretty much.
Ad Mortem, the thing is, like, the Discord server being a live stream anyway doesn't quite fix anything. Because those desyncs just happen on, like, either of the player sides. It's hard to tell who even desynced there.
Yeah.
Nothing can be done about the desyncs themselves. So this doesn't quite do anything, guys. We can't fix, like, we can't control the desyncs. They just need to fix them. Like, they just need to fix them on their side. I feel like the server side is the issue here, and like as players, individuals, we can't do anything. So we just have to live with this.
Basically, yeah.
We're not getting hats for every hero, guys. There's already a lot of hats. Bite me, Xenex. Bite me. Not gonna happen. We have enough hats, guys. We have enough hats. Look at those hats.
I don't know. I'm not sure if that's enough hats.
Shit. Okay, so 2 more. Okay, so you're gonna give everybody a hat. Fuck it. Okay, it's gonna take...
A hat at the very
You know
least.
how
I
long
think
it
the leopard
fucking
deserves
takes
a
to
hat.
remove this stuff later. Okay, we
I
have...
think at the very least, Leopard deserves a hat.
Everybody gets a hat. Okay, everybody gets a hat. Shubeka gets a little one. Okay, that's cool. We're gonna do like a couple. This is gonna stick around because there's like a lot of effort I'm putting here. Like, that's real content right there, guys.
Oh, you're disconnected. All right.
So we're gonna put a hat on everybody.
I need to see this.
That's gonna be a nice thumbnail as well if you get like hats on everybody here.
Oh, actually, true. Yeah.
We're gonna have like celebration stream with hats on all those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed, that would probably be nice actually.
Ooh, I think I know what I'm gonna do for this game. Yeah.
The Grave Robber's actually really good in this hat because she has a like, you know, this pointy hat anyway, so this goes very well on
She was
her.
meant for it.
I don't know if you guys are watching this. Can you wait before we start the game because I really want to set up the hats for everybody.
Right.
I don't, you know, it's like this cannot be like half baked. This has to be solid work.
Ooh, someone in chat had a good suggestion: putting a hat on the occultist skull.
No, there's too many hats, guys. Please, slow down.
Okay,
Like,
that's too many.
this is madness. This is madness. There's just too many. Oh, the Crusader with the hat looks wonderful. Holy shit. Okay. Like next to me, like on the right, if you look at the stream. Okay, I get a hat as well, right? I do get a hat. So yeah, like full celebration stream right there.
I see, yeah.
So how do you guys like this?
Oh, this is wonderful.
Yeah, we have hat party, guys. We have hat party.
Yo, hat tier list when?
There's one hat. So you can't tier list this. Like they're all S tier.
Yeah, it's just one hat there, and it's S tier. There's
Yeah.
nothing else on the list. Alright, sis, let me know when you are ready.
I'm good to go, guys, when you are, so...
Here, I'll resend the invite.
Okay, so just jump to the Discord now. It's also cool because both of you guys can actually talk now and communicate how you feel about the game live.
We should be really careful that we shouldn't talk too much.
Right, yeah, I agree.
Like, occasionally, if he misses 17 death blows in a row, I can go, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Let's go, guys. Let's do it. So, game 3.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to go.
Okay, so we have game 3, guys. Selentia versus Cider Lad.
Good luck.
Sis,
Have fun.
stop minimizing the fucking stream, man.
I was putting the sound up, you Polish cunt.
Oh, unacceptable. That's just unacceptable, man.
It's fuck me. Well, listen, but why haven't you linked the fucking Discord? I'm on it, bro.
Okay, guys, good luck, have fun.
For you.
Okay, with 2 very interesting comps again, so it's Heavy Repose, no, actually just Grave Robber, sorry, Highwayman from Selentia, and he does have quite a lot of Repose-focused stuff there. On the other side, so we have a Vestal as well, and PD, and a Crusader for Selentia. It's like kind of, those are the usual suspects, guys. It's like the base composition from DD.
Yes, correct. I made the usual suspects.
Oh man, that's brilliant, I love this,
Thank you.
I actually have to up your volume a little bit right now, because it's quiet compared to the game.
Alright.
Sis, the freaking hell are you doing? Emo, thank you for your subscription as well on YouTube. Welcome, mate. Okay. So we're gonna push back here on the Highwayman. He uses the point blank to push the Abomination to the second row. And actually, Grave Robber, she could never launch actually. That's quite a weird setup here. Okay, so we go for a push on the Crusader, possibly. No, doesn't go through. The move chance is quite low, but obviously the Abomination has no movement items on itself either. Guys, am I too quiet, or is the sound too loud, or is it okay for you? How do you hear the game, guys, right now? Okay, so we get the protection buff AoE again across the board for Selentia, but I feel like Cider Lad's composition is stress-based, isn't it? So this might not work well enough. This might have been like a wasted turn, somewhat wasted turn. Okay, it did kind of manipulate the sound a little bit. I think it's better now. Okay, so I'm gonna maybe I'll just set up the stream settings here for the game to be a bit more quiet. It should be better now. Oh, shit.
I forgot to change the skills on my play dot.
Okay, so PD here goes with the Plague Grenade. Probably will be he'll start stacking the Blight. So the nice part about PD, obviously, like, PD is not my favorite character, but the nice part about PD is that she can actually stack Blight and apply stress at the same time. So it's like very, very nice for the stress composition, but she's extremely vulnerable to any sort of pulls and pushes, right? So, and to stuns as well. So if you get her to the front and you just stun her, you can just, you know, basically ignore her for the rest of the game because she just stays checked, right? So she's also very squishy, 31 HP, very low dodge, so that's the problem here. Low move resistance, so those are all quite serious things about the PD that make her, you know, not so successful in those higher ranks overall. Though you can still play her to some success, to some degree of success. Okay, so Selentia goes for some more stress and straight up damage here, I guess. So we have like some sort of weird stress / damage composition here from Selentia. I guess actually Selentia couldn't do anything better because the Abomination is already stunned, and yeah, that's basically, so he just went for damage instead of just, you know, passively wasting the stun somehow, trying to heal something that, you know, isn't really there to be healed. Obviously the Occultist can probably make short work on... the Occultist can do it because there's no pull on the Occultist, guys, so this might be trouble actually for both for Cider Lad, actually, since there's like both parties can't actually manipulate the map at all. with the exception of the Abomination here from Cider, which is getting heavily focused by Selentia right now in this final game of the best of 3, guys. So, I don't think I can, there's no such option on YouTube. I'll have to read on this, but I can't do it like straight away. I have to think this through, okay? So we'll see about the later games. Okay, we have a nice dart here on the vessel. We have 2 afflicted characters. This stress game is going very well for Cider. On the other hand, obviously we're taking like a lot of damage on the Abomination from Whisper Cider. Oh my god, that shuffle is insane. This means that the PD can only incise now, and this means that all the stress pressure that Cider has been applying over time is basically gone now. So obviously the Abomination can go forward with this, so we can have the Abomination move forward, push out the Crusader potentially, and put end to this situation. This accusation does go through again though, so this is Death's Door for the Abomination. I don't think Selentia can go through. Maybe the Vendetta is there, so the Vendetta should be able to penetrate stealth, I feel, as far as I remember that. So we do cancel the Beast form as well, so this means that actually the Abomination can no longer push anybody out, and that's trouble because this means that the PD is stuck in the very front of the fight here still. We may see more stress being applied, focus stress onto the Crusader here. And this obviously just keeps adding up, right? This is nothing, this is quite a serious situation actually. Like, this much stress will probably go to afflictions eventually, and then will end up in characters actually acting out a little bit. The problem is here that obviously Cider cannot just go for stress on the Vestal right now, because the Vestal is very close to 100, and anything that would have crossed 100 will just be cancelled completely, so that doesn't quite work too well. Okay, Incision goes through. The Highwayman does take quite some bleed damage here from that. Obviously the Vessel will cross the threshold for 100, and she does take some blight damage from this afflicted PD as well. That's quite painful actually. We do have affliction also on the side of Cider, so we have fearful on this PD. So this is kind of even, right? I feel like Cider has actually done a bit more stress across the board though, so it's quite hard to judge how it's exactly going to go. Obviously we get a push on the Crusader, which means there is no more stun possibility for him. It's just going to be Holy Lance and healing, and I don't think like Selentia needs that much healing anywhere at this point. Like, it's mostly like a late game skill, I feel, unless like there's like heavy burst on one of the teams, right? Then those heals actually come through, and they are quite useful indeed. We'll see how this kind of continues from here. Stun on the Grave Robber goes through, probably will stun. It does. I think it does. Yes, it does. Alright, so it's quite peculiar actually. The Vessel does have the Snuff here in this setup, so it's quite hard to manipulate her. Though the very low base move resistance from the Vessel means that, you know, the Snuff doesn't quite give her enough defense, I guess. So maybe it's a wasted slot, because characters that move usually have a movement dedicated trinket on them anyway. This kind of cancels out the stuff. Oh, that's terrible. Moving back this Crusader to the front means that actually all this hard work that was put in, you know, in towards getting the Crusader back is no longer in place. So this might again spell out some trouble for Cider lad. I guess this was not the best disorienting blast in the world, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, Vessel heals herself. And yeah, this is looking quite interesting actually for us, because this might be quite a long game. I feel like Selentia holds a damage lead, whereas Cider definitely has a stress lead still. So this can go either way, really, depending on how afflicted characters actually start acting now. Okay, the stun doesn't quite help too much either. Obviously the healing from the Occultist is going to be decent, I hope. Okay, 14 goes through. So we have quite a decently healthy Abomination back on the lineup. This PD though might start raining death on Cider lad's characters, right? He's in the very back. All skills are available. Noxious Blast actually focuses the PD again on the side of Cider lad, which means that this 12 blight damage will always stick her down to 0, So both PDs are actually very, very low here on HP and very stressed, so we'll see how this kind of pans out from here. I would probably try to knock out the Crusader, though we see that there's possibly a Rake coming through from Cider. I'm curious whether this kind of does make an impact on this game here, so maybe the stun does go through, maybe it doesn't. We'll see what happens here. Obviously no movement chance, no movement skill chance trinkets means that there's kind of a dice roll really. The Crusader does get actually moved backward, which is very, very good for Cider. Also the Crusader does suffer quite a lot of damage here, so that's very nice overall, like, you know, speaking from the perspective of this entire game now. Oh, that crit for 28 though might seal the deal for the Abomination. Is there anything that can be done to prevent this killing blow from the Crusader? I don't think so. So potentially Selentia does get a kill here on the Abomination this turn if he, you know, is lucky enough. The Crusader has the Writ here, so this is like basically a 35% chance. There's a kill going through. Oh my god, this is actually so fortunate for Selentia. This might be curtains for Cider. This might have decided this game really. You know, the two factors here with the PD sitting at the very front of this fight on Cider's last side, and now this execution coming through. So all those very well timed attacks by Selentia might be paying dividends here. Maybe, just maybe, if Cider had actually used the stealth on the Abomination instead of healing him, this may have been okay. But right now, this is a very, very sad situation for Cider. Actually, he's in a terrible, terrible spot. Absolutely terrible spot for Cider here. I don't think he can actually pull through this anymore. And there's gonna be a stun coming from the PD, so not only does Cider have 3 characters available to him, one of them is stunned right now, there's no way to remove those stuns either. So this will just keep getting worse and worse, I feel. Okay, we get a crit on the Highwayman, so we have 4 afflicted characters, however, from Selentia. So this is not unsalvageable yet, because all this stress might mean that, you know, those lucky affliction procs may indeed be quite brutal. So let's just see how this pans out really for Selentia here. Does he get some unfortunate procs or not? Obviously this horror is still stacked up on his characters, so every time Abomination turns into the beast form, he afflicts all 4 enemy characters with 8 horror damage per turn for 3 to 4 turns, 4 turns here in this case. This PD has very high death resistance, so this might not be a kill here. I don't think there's the finisher for the Highwayman either, so this might not be the end of the PD. Indeed, the dodge actually goes through. 15 dodge is not that much, but on the other hand, the Highwayman's chance to hit the grapeshot is quite low, right? We have only 80 base accuracy, so this is quite reasonable that he does miss this. We'll see how this kind of continues. I think that actually the Wicked Slice would have been way, way better here. Oh, we have a pass from Cider's PD though, that's kind of painful. So this affliction is actually hurting him way more than the afflictions of Selentia are hurting Selentia. We may get affliction on the Grave Robber here on the other hand. That's kind of problematic. So we have Hopeless here, that's not good. That's what I am every stream when I am tilted. But we have this very, very nice situation now for Selentia actually, where if he doesn't get unlucky with those afflictions, I think there is very little Cider can do. Obviously the artillery comes through, so if Cider can stay alive in this game long enough, this artillery might actually seal the deal here. I feel like artillery is a good choice. This might also execute the PD. If this is lucky, I think I would just go for the artillery, man. Because this is just going to... Oh, that's risky. This is close to... Oh, this might finish. It's actually going to 199 stress for the PD. Oh, no, that's actually a direct heart attack. Never mind. So I think the pro goes through. Selentia's PD is dead. That's a very nice move. I liked it. I liked it very much, Cider. That was very smart. That was brilliant planning. So he knew what he was doing, I think, with that stress. And this means Selentia is in trouble now. This may be quite a grave situation. Judas Advance goes through. This is not a kill again. I think Wicked Slice would have been a better choice because it does have execute chance. I also feel like Highwayman without the finisher is quite crippled. So this might be what seals the deal here. The lack of the killing blow here on the PD is going to mean that there's a lot of damage that will come through on the side of Cider that should be coming through. And there's a lot of pressure as well. This was a risky blow, but it does kill the Highwayman. And actually Cider goes ahead, pulls ahead in this fight. And this may be the deciding turn right now. What does happen for Cider? What does happen for Selentia? Do those afflictions kind of, you know, make themselves known or not? The heal goes through, but you know, this Crusader is very stressed, so this might not even matter at all, because... Okay, frankly, let's see what this affliction does. Okay, that's just a little bit of stress. This might not matter because... Oh, there's a Devlo going through! And we have a Dev's Door on the Grave Robber. So this might actually be a very, very close ending. Please do not desync. This is so freaking close. This is so
this desynced.
Please don't desync now, guys. Please don't desync. I'm gonna freaking kill you. I will just... Okay, I'm not gonna say anything else, but I'm gonna be so frustrated if you guys desync. Stream, fingers crossed for this not to be a desync. This is gonna be so close. I'll get a stun on the Occultist of the Cider lad, and this might mean that, you know, the Grave Robber might not be enough. We get Affliction as well, so we have 4 afflicted characters in this game right now. This is so tense, so close. One actual lucky shot from Selentia might seal the deal here for him. He might still be able to win this quite easily if he gets a kill here. However, obviously, the Crusader here has nothing to do. Oh, this didn't stun. This could have stunned, actually. This would have been so bad.
Was that 60%?
Could
No,
have been so...
chance to stun because
Yeah,
of my
this
grass
could have been so bad for Selentia. He actually stays alive in this game because this doesn't stun. This is absolutely insane.
Horrific.
Okay, he just has to Zealous Accusation this, yes, alright, so...
chance to stun my Vestal.
Yeah. Okay, so the Panic Darts might actually kill the Vestal right now. 6 damage. This might be a kill if he gets a crit, maybe even like straight up damage. Those darts might be a kill on the Vestal. I don't know if this is gonna be a kill or not, but this might be a kill on the Vestal for sure. Okay, he activates the Occultist first.
No, it wouldn't. I don't think so.
So this might be a stun. So I think he's just trying to kind of stay alive and just prevent the stun from going through too quickly, so that this way he can act this turn still. This is gonna be artillery. No, it's just a curse here going through on the Vestal. 186 stress.
Yeah, that was a good play.
And now the darts might actually it's quite likely the darts do finish the Vestal. So probably a stun. Why do you heal this? There's no reason to heal this at all. Oh, okay, that's actually cool. That's smart play, because this means that the darts can't finish the Vestal. The worst thing that can happen is going to be the heart attack here. So
Correct,
10 damage goes
so
through,
that...
indeed. Yes, that's smart,
Yep.
man.
Healed so that the heart attack would only get me to Death's Door, since the Panic Darts wouldn't be able to get me to a card.
Yeah, that's very good. That's a very good move, man. Perfect stuff. So we're very close to the ending here. I think this is going to be, at some point, the end of this game. Okay, we get those 2 characters to the very front right now. The Panic Darts can only be used from row 2. They cannot be used from the front. Obviously, there's very little, actually, Cider that can do with this Grave Robber from row 1. Okay, this is a kill. This is a dead Vestal, though. So that's just a dead Vestal. However, on the other hand, we can...
No, never mind. Yeah, heart attack kills you anyways.
Yeah. However, this Crusader can still use the accusation here. This may be a double kill for the Crusader. Is the Crusader going to do it, guys? Is he gonna make it? 10% death blow resistance bonus here. This may be the... No! Oh, this is a kill, actually. Holy shit, that's close now. So, he decides against using the accusation here. This may have been the game, actually, if he had used the accusation. Maybe this may have been a game. Okay, we got a heart attack for the Crusader. 0 HP as well over there. This is so close. So tense, guys. So... Oh god, this is gonna be like, if this doesn't stun, this is game for Selentia. This Devlo doesn't matter if he Zealous Accusations you next turn, so it's maybe a stun now, and a kill next turn. Is it gonna be a stun? Yes, it is! The stun goes through! And this is probably GG, this is GG for Silas, so close, such a nice game, guys. An accusation will go through next turn, this is probably curtain, unless the Grave Robber does dodge it. 19 dodge only left on her. Unless she dodges this attack, this is over. Maybe the Crusader does something weird, though. The accusation goes through. And this is a dead
GG,
Grave Robber,
man.
guys. This is GG. This was so freaking close, guys. This was so freaking close. Holy shit.
That was a fantastic game.
Alright, I have questions for you. So we'll just go to a conference now, here with Selentia and with Cider, guys. How do you feel about the game? What did any of you actually feel that you had an advantage in this game, in this very last game? Did you feel that you held advantage here at any point of the game?
I kind of...
Wait, I need to actually bump the volume up a little bit, mate. Hold on. Okay.
Let me know when you are ready, brother. Yep.
Yeah.
Also, can you please? I need to kind of turn up the volume. You have to turn down your game first. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Oh, you chief.
Okay, guys. So, Sis, question to you: did you feel you had an advantage in this game at all?
In the last game or
Yeah.
in the match, brother?
In the last game, yeah.
So the last game, basically, I had 3 different ideas of fun comps. The first was pure healing, no damage. The second was pure dodge, and this one was pure single target stress. And I don't really think there are points, obviously, in every game where you think I might have won this here, I might have won that there.
Absolutely.
It was a very close ending towards the end, but I think you took point of a bit where he did play very well because he recognized the Vestal healing potential with Crusader. And I, to be honest, was playing this a little bit autopiloted. So I missed that. In a better game, I obviously should have tried to focus those 2. Perhaps I should have put a horror on the Vestal so the horror would have ticked her up to 200. But these are all things that,
I feel like
require more than playing a comp the first time.
Yeah, I also feel like Selentia had like better late game composition where like when his character started dropping, like keeping the Vestal and the Crusader alive meant that he could actually land those stuns and maybe control the fight a little bit in the end, right? Because he got like a lot of those very important stuns. It just kept you from doing your thing.
I think that was my greatest strategical misplay, that I thought I was the 2 wrong characters.
Yeah, and for me personally, that was sort of my endgame plan since the last team in specific, I built completely around spreading stress throughout the entire team so that even if it doesn't, like get a massive lead in the early game, it's just able to completely wear them down over time. And the Vestal, outside of, like just having it for the gimmick of having the usual suspects, I think her being able to let out massive healing while also clearing horror is a great asset in...
That is something I realize, the fact that she can clear horror.
Yeah, like most people never even pay attention to that but her like main single target healing clears horror, and that is just insanely helpful. And I honestly would have lost if it didn't have that trait.
Yeah, that's true, because like you couldn't reuse the Cider, you couldn't reuse the artillery on the occultist, right? For that reason, I guess, because this would have just gotten cleared instantaneously. Same for the abomination, right? It wasn't as effective as it could have been.
I think artillery was kind of a tech choice in a certain way. The comp was built around heavy single target damage. What's just kind of happened was that I got an early stealth off on the PD, I think. So I heavily irradiate a few people with stress, and I kind of that game.
Yeah, well, I was the complete opposite, where my build was completely centered around spreading massive stress across the whole party instead of single target. Like with things like the Plague Doctor and the Highwayman with Grapeshot Blast, as well as Zealous Accusation. Just sort of not trying to kill someone right away, but just sort of trying to get inflictions on everybody, as opposed to, like just one person, so that, eventually the negative effects are just going to wear them all down.
It's quite interesting you say that, because from what I saw, I think for a considerable amount of the first half of the game, my back 2 were just completely unstressed. So I was kind of deciding the front 2, trying to go for that.
Right, yeah. In the early game, I was heavily targeting the Abomination just because anyone who's played any amount of stress mirror matches know that he is not fun when he's left alone.
Yeah, but you did have like... I feel like this Abomination the last game didn't quite do much because he had like so much pressure on him that you couldn't quite use him to the full potential, right, as well. That's quite interesting. Guys, how do you feel about the previous 2 games though? Because like you won one each, through like this kind of agreed victory, but like it was quite obviously you both had like leads at the end. So can you please just tell me, like in your perception, like I'm gonna start with Selentia. Did you feel that you were more lucky in game 2 than Sis? Did you feel like Sis was more lucky in game 2 than you were in game 1? So who was more lucky across those wins?
No, that's not even a question. No. So Sis, he got a few pretty lucky things in game 2, but it is nothing compared to everything that I got in game 1. Just like that, I'm so glad that it got recorded, because if you told someone that happened, they just straight up wouldn't believe you. Like, legitimately, once, like the highlights go up and all, I'd like to look back and just like do the math and see how unlikely it was for like all my characters to just survive that long, because it was completely insane.
3 20%, 15% dodges in a row.
Yeah, like game 1, I was able to kill his Flagellant when he had 80% death blow resist, while I had no bonus. My Antiquarian survived, like, I think 3 attacks while she was...
She was literally at 15%.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was at 15%.
This was 4 attacks, yeah.
Yeah.
And she kept dodging as well, I think. Like, she dodged a lot of those attacks just straight up